The world is filled with many fascinating places, each one trying to get its own message across, if they are even trying to say anything at all. Interestingly enough, a handful of these places each have their own perplexing backstories, and despite being relatively unknown to most people, are still openly available to the public for anyone to see. Located in the San Fernando Valley area of Los Angeles, California, is a peculiar roadside attraction known as the Old Trapper's Lodge. Originally built in Sun Valley back in the 1940s, it has since been relocated to Woodland Hills right in the back of Pierce College, and its origins are quite strange. The lodge was originally founded as a motel by John N., who was born in 1897 and moved to California after spending his life as a professional trapper during the late days of the Wild West era. In order to increase the number of customers, N decided to build a series of sculptures that would attract interest. The first sculpture was created by Claude Bell, who was the artist for Knott's Berry Farm and the creator of the Cabazon dinosaurs, which were famously featured in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. After spending days watching Bell at work with his art, N became inspired to make the sculptures on his own, and would then spend the next 30 years until his death filling his yard with his unsettling pieces of art with very strange backstories. But this is when things start to get weird. The sculptures have been confirmed to have real sets of human teeth, and even some legends formed by the residents of Woodland Hills believe the statues are real dead bodies covered in cement. These local legends also focus on the nature of the sculptures and their behavior. Visitors of the lodge have reported to see the statues move and hear voices and whispers. Few reports have even claimed visitors to be bitten by these statues, with bite marks hard enough to draw blood. The motel was torn down in 1985, and the land was engulfed by Burbank Airport, but with its relocating, the Old Trapper's Lodge has since remained an underground tourist attraction, unknown by the majority of Pierce College attendees. The college refuses to say who authorized the statues to be moved to the school or who performs maintenance on them, further preserving the exhibit's mysterious existence and letting the legends live on. Another place which prioritizes keeping its stories alive is The Thing. For those that often go on road trips across the United States and find themselves driving on Interstate 10 between Tucson, Arizona and El Paso, Texas, you may come across several billboards advertising The Thing, and eventually, The Thing itself. These billboards lure in their visitors by building up anticipation, using strange 1950s science fiction inspired art and posing the most burning question: The Thing, what is it? If you count enough, you can easily find around 250 billboards within just a 200-mile radius. Oddly enough, the advertising works, as a Daily Dot puts it. Without clarifying details, bored drivers become prisoners of their own imagination. As a result, The Thing gets thousands of visitors every year, while still managing to stay relatively under the radar to the majority of the public. But what exactly is inside? All of the mystery can be found in this shed located in the middle of absolute nowhere. Inside you will find a collection of random objects ranging from World War II artifacts to art pieces depicting souls being tortured, all hyping and leading up to what the entire exhibit is built around: The Thing. It lies enclosed inside a glass coffin, located in a darkened cavern at the end of the museum, a mummified mother and child. It is commonly believed that the original owner of the attraction, Thomas Prince, purchased the bodies in around the early 1950s. He and his wife acquired them from a salesman who claimed to have got them from somewhere and was selling them for $50. It is believed that the mummies were created by Homer Tate, a man known for creating fabricated oddity artifacts specifically for sideshows and roadside attractions. Although, other stories surrounding The Thing dispute this. Some legends say that the bodies were a mother and child of Indian or Native American descent who were killed in a shootout in the late 1800s, with their bodies being dug up and sold decades later by a rancher from the same area. The debate surrounding the thing's origins continues to spark interest with tourists, so much so that the attraction had a complete renovation in August 2018, filling the place with several more oddities, each one having its own story to tell. Although this place is not advertised at every exit, the Dorn Pyramid is still open to visitors of Oddfellows Cemetery in San Luis Obispo, California. The pyramid is a mausoleum with a very weird story dating back to the early 1900s. Fred Adolphus Dorn was a renowned attorney for the city and a member of the Freemasons Society. Living with his pregnant wife, Cora, it seemed as if Fred's life was going in the right direction, until around May 23, 1905. Cora was beginning to have serious complications with childbirth, which ultimately killed her and their newborn son just a few days later. To honor them, Fred built a 25-foot-tall granite pyramid that would have cost around $90,000 today. Clearly distraught, Fred included a lot of strange details on the pyramid. On the front door is the quote, "Disturb not the sleep of death." Right next to it is a carving of the Freemason square and compass, followed by the initials NSGW. It is not known exactly what these letters stand for, but it is possibly associated with the Native Sons of the Golden West, a very controversial fraternal service organization during the early 20th century. The 3 chain links on the other side of the pyramid are the symbol for the Independent Order of Oddfellows organization. But most of the pyramid's mystery is what lies within. One of the most popular times to visit the pyramid is on Halloween night, as the local urban legend states that if you knock on the mausoleum door 12 times at exactly midnight, a 13th knock can be heard from within. And as we know, 13 is the number of bad luck. However, security now extensively guards the tomb on Halloween night due to the legend's popularity. But are they guarding it to keep visitors from disturbing the deceased? Or is there perhaps another reason? If you are driving towards Area 51, chances are you may come across a small town known as Tonopah, Nevada, home to the famous and eerie Clown Motel. It was founded in 1985 by Leona and Leroy David, who ran the business until selling it exactly 10 years later. Obvious by its name, the motel is completely filled with clowns, containing big clowns, small clowns, and even clown paintings and dolls on the shelves and doors. The motel is currently home to more than 600 pieces of clown paraphernalia, with that number continuing to grow as more people add to the collection. Despite the owners claiming that these clowns are meant to be happy clowns, the clown's natural association with horror has still caused guests to be uncomfortable. But this is not the only thing that makes the motel unsettling. It is the cemetery right next door. It contains over 300 people and was closed around 100 years ago. It is filled with people who lived in the once popular town during the Nevada Silver Rush, with many of them being miners who were killed in horrible accidents. The original owners claim that they built the motel next to the cemetery because they had family who were buried there. People with rooms on the second floor have balconies which directly face it, and visitors claim that this is the source of the motel's hauntings. Some people have reported to have had contact with ghosts, heard doors slam, and even had room keys go missing. Like the old Trapper's Lodge, people have also claimed to have heard voices and whispers coming from the cemetery late in the night, even when no one is out there. Even though the presence of spirits is often questioned by tourists, there are still Tonopah residents and travelers that are firm believers in the motel's hauntings, allowing the Clown Motel to continue being a stop for tourists and an attraction filled with an unnerving history. In the summer of 1979 began the creation of Georgia's most puzzling landmarks, the Georgia Guidestones. A man undergoing the alias R.C. Christian requested supplies from the Elberton Granite Finishing Company to build a monument. No one involved in the monument's construction was ever able to find out his real name, group affiliation, or how he acquired such a large sum of money to fund the project. Part of his terms also included completely destroying all blueprints and plans for the project after its completion, and not publicly disclosing any information about him. Construction was finally completed in 1980, but this did not answer everyone's questions. Instead, it left them with more. The monument is located in Elbert County, Georgia, and consists of a set of stone tablets with the front proclaiming, "Let these be the guidestones to an age of reason." While no one knows for certain what it exactly means, it is theorized that the stones are a set of guidelines for people to continue society after the start of a post-apocalyptic world. What is even more peculiar about these tablets is that they are written in 8 different languages, and even ancient languages, including Classic Greek and Egyptian hieroglyphics. The tablets have received heavy criticism from those that have read them, as many people believe that they are encouraging human annihilation and a new world order. There are several commandments listed on these stones, ranging from instructing humanity to keep a population under 500 million and to bring balance between reason and human rights and social duties. However, the monument gets much more complex than this. The tablets also feature an astronomical calendar that, during noon, uses the light of the sun on an engraving to reveal the current date. This is likely here so that the generation of reason can use these tablets as a source for knowing what day it is. Another tablet on the landmark mentions the burial of a time capsule, likely containing resources that can be used for survival, but reveals no information of its burial date or when it will be opened. This has led people to question whether or not this time capsule actually exists. The message behind the Georgia Guidestones has left many people concerned. Some describe it as totalitarian and oppressive, while others counter this sentiment. Those who claim to know the people involved in the landmark's construction state that the whole thing is only an art piece. However, this is not consistent with the story of another man who states to have known the true identity of R.C. Christian, but vows to bring it to the grave with him. These narratives, filled with inconsistencies and dead ends, continue to leave visitors bewildered, trying to crack the code and figure out the true purpose and meaning of the Georgia Guidestones.
We have clowns here from
Thank you so much for watching. If you would like more, please make sure to subscribe and check the links in the description for a more immersive experience.
The clown collection just grown and grown and grown.
He's a clown connoisseur, if you will, of good clowns.
They're all happy. Most of them are smiling.